Hello, I'm Jim with RV1, and I am going to be your demo person today on this RedHawk. I'm going to do the outside real quick, turn it off, and then do the inside. So let me show you on the outside what you're going to be looking for. Okay, let me turn it around. Okay, this is your RedHawk. We're going to try this again. I got two sets of keys, one inside right now and the other one forward key. Some other keys for the outside. This round keys for all your compartment doors and your electrical. This is your electrical. Let's go ahead and open that up. You just have a key. This is your cord all the way to when you're at a park. There's a hole in the bottom. You can put it through here, drop it out, or you can put it through the side right here, lock the door and have it come out the side. Either one is fine. Okay, 30 amp cord, you bring it over here. Let's say you're at the park. You back this up, of course the slide's going to be in, and you make sure that someone maybe is helping you, but you do have a reverse camera right up there. And usually your utilities pedestal is right here. That's for your electric, your cable, your water, and your sewers. Usually a hole right around there somewhere. Okay, or the pedestal's here, or it's in the back. But you want to back up, gotta make sure there's no trees up high that you're gonna hit when you bring out the slide, and you have enough room for the slide to come out, because your property line on most parks is probably going to be 3 to 4 feet out, because that's how you want to place it, because you want all your space to be on your living side, where your awning is, where you're going to put your rug, chairs, grill, etc., etc. So leave all your living side as open as you can, but watch your trees. Usually most parks have the trees trimmed enough for anything to be pulled in there. So just something to think about. Okay, you got lots of cord. So we're gonna come over here, and you're at a park, and most parks, if they have power, I'm not talking about dry camping now, I'm talking about just when you pull into a park, either they're going to ask you if you need 30 amp service, 50 amp service, how long is your RV, do you have full service? In other words, sewer, water, and electric. Cable's always a luxury. So you're going to open, most of your pedestals are going to look kind of like this. You got a 50, a 30, and a 110, which is like your house one. That's usually 15 amps. That's only good for keeping your battery charged. You can't run an air conditioner or a microwave on that. You can on the 30 or the 50, okay? So we plug it in on any park that you come to. If you have any problems with your 30 amp at the park, if you have a dog bone, which is one of those orange things where the 30 plugs in and then it has 50 on the end, you can plug it in there and use the 50 amp side, even though it's a 30 amp cable. So get yourself a dog bone, 30 female to 50 male, and have that in one of your bays and have it on standby. Also, when you're at home, you can go 30 to get a dog bone that is 30 female to 110 male, and that way you can have that for any kind of you need power for charging the battery, and you have that at home usually. Okay, so we go on here. Right here is you're backed up here, and you've got all your good stuff. Here's your city water connection from the spigot. Make sure you have a water pressure regulator in line with the hose, and if you use a filter, If you put one of those inline filters in, make sure you open the spigot before you hook it up, because a lot of that black carbon stuff comes out of the filter. Once it clears out, then you can if you don't have to use that, don't use it. Just get somebody inside to flush the toilet, and after you pull the black tank, because this here you cannot use unless the black tank valve is open. Otherwise you get yourself in some trouble inside, because it fills up the black tank and comes out the toilet. So you pick and choose when you want to use your black tank flush, usually the end of the season, or when you're leaving a park to go home or go to another park. You kind of want to flush the tank out just for fun. Okay, now here is this is where you hook up your sewer hose. Make sure it's always in a pitch downhill. Get yourself a hose that you can manage, and also have those little they call it slunkies, but they're basically keep the pitch of the cable or the hose down to the sewer. Gray tank is your shower and your sink and all your sinks. Black tank is just what it says. And when you're at a park and you're there a week or a day or two, gray tank open, black tank closed. Only open the black tank when you are draining the tank from it being full or where you don't like it. So go ahead and you pull the black tank when you need to. The reason is liquids break down solids as opposed to liquid solid, and that's how it works. Liquids break down solids, and that's what the black tank needs, is some liquid in there, and that's what people produce. So gray tank open, black tank closed when you're at the park. Before you leave to go down the road, all of them closed and the cap on, because some states don't like the cap flopping in the wind, because they'll pull you over because they don't like that that pipe open to the elements. Just to let you know. Okay, so your city water connections here. This is self-explanatory. This is just a shower, hot and cold. You can use it to wash your dog off, or bicycles or stuff like that. The only thing is when you wash off over here, you still have to walk around and go in the door on the other side, dragging the mud with you. If that's what you prefer to do, that's fine. If, I understand at beaches and stuff like that. And if you're using the holding tank. Regular fuel only. You don't have to spend premiums or any of that stuff. Just regular gasoline. Here's one of your bays, but the big thing here is this your city water fill. And these are the combinations that you'll use to fill the tank. Is 1 and 6, so it'll face this way to fill the tank. And the tank is used for dry camping, or when you're traveling and you really got to go to the bathroom, or you want to wash dishes, or use the toilet, sinks, etc., etc. is your dry camping. This is to fill the tank. Okay, normal is 3 and 5. So when you're using the pump inside, that's how you're going to go when you're traveling down the road. All of this is in the owner's manual inside, and it's on the table, and I'll show it to you. I'll put everything in the drawer loose, but that's all. This information's in there. YouTube is your friend also, so remember that. Okay. There's things called country fill. That's when you're by a lake and you just want to fill the tank with lake water for not drinking or stuff like that. That's if you're a real off-the-grid camper and you got to get some water. Okay, but you can read, that's in the book and everything. Okay, so let's go with that. Let me continue on. Here's one of these sidewinders. This is for the sewer, so it keeps it in a downhill. Keep it downhill. Here's a filter that put in, in line with your water hose. Your cable TV. Some parks have cable, some parks don't. When you are doing the TV, let me see where it comes in. It's probably inside here. Yes, it is. Inside where the power is, this is an extra plug, but this is your cable input, so you're going to come up through the floor here. You're going to come up through the floor and hook it up here. The only thing is with the TV, you have to scan for antenna channels, and I'll show you that later when we're inside, either antenna or cable. Okay? Let me get back here and close this stuff. Okay. Your generator's over here. Pretty much you can service it if you got somebody that's inclined to do so. It's the panel comes off the front, has a filter and a drain plug and all that if you want to do that, or you can let somebody else do that. The low point drain is for the water tank to drain the water, and when you start to winterize it, I'm from Florida, so I do not winterize anything. And this is just storage here. Here's your exhaust pipe for the generator. So if I was running the generator, I wouldn't have a window open on this side, etc. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. This ladder is for maintenance to go up on top. I wouldn't have anybody up there stomping around like at the races or stuff like that. If you feel creative enough to put a blanket up there with just 1 or 2 people, if you're at the races or something like that, but I don't recommend it. You can do it if you want. Okay, next thing is this storage tube here is for the sewer hose. The only problem with that is you have to take the ends off the sewer hose. So I would just get yourself a good tote and wrap your hoses and your stuff to put in your bay if you got a tote that'll fit. You have more storage here. This here is your propane. This is so you have a grill that's propane. It's a quick connect. Let me get this off of here. Quick connect, and it's got a valve on the side. If it's at 90 degrees, it's off. If it's straight, it's, of course, it can provide gas for your grill or fire pit if you have one of those gas fire pits. Okay, this is your basically your vent for your refrigerator on the outside. A quarter will open it, and you clean it out, make sure there's no mud daubers and stuff out there. Once in a while, a little vacuum, keep all the bugs and stuff out of there. This is your water heater access. If you need to get serviced, an RV company, or you can, YouTube is your friend. Like I said, you can winterize things, you can service a lot of stuff yourself if you have somebody in the family that's good. Also, you have your furnace output here, so don't be sitting here with your hair, because that thing has a burner on it and it does work very well. So when you use your furnace, use it sparingly because it warms it up real fast. So don't put it on 85, 90 degrees because you're going to cook yourself inside. So, use it enough. If you're at a park and you're paying for power, get yourself a little electric space heater that if it falls over, it turns off safety-wise. And it'll knock the chill out of the air. It'll keep it nice just by itself. You don't burn your propane, and you're already paying for the electricity at the park anyway by the rate for the parking space. So get yourself a little square space heater that if it falls over, it turns off. Okay, next is some more storage. These speakers are driven from the inside, probably B zone or zone 2 off your radio, porch light, and then I believe we've got some LEDs on there. I'm not sure. I'll have to open that and find out. Okay, everything else is just your standard Ford van and everything. So I'm gonna head inside. Also, see how the door stops here? The door has stopped. It's on. If you let it go any farther, which it won't, it's got a friction hitch, or hinge. There we go. This awning has to have room to come out, and you don't want it to catch either in or out on this. So when you open the door, of course, your step comes out. What you want to do is this step turns on and off. Where is that? There it is. Power step. You go inside, you got a power step on. You want to turn that off when you're done and you're parked and everything. You don't want the step to work every time you close the door. So you turn that switch off when you're parked and everybody's happy. Step stays out, and that's what you want. But when you're traveling, you want the step on, so when you get out, it goes out. And when you come in, anytime you start the motor, it should come in anyway, just for safety. Okay, this is what you're going to use when you leave to go to dinner or whatever. You're going to use the deadbolt. You can use this one, but everybody's pretty much got this key. They don't have your deadbolt thing. So the master is for maintenance and stuff. This is your deadbolt, and you want to use that. And it's the same one that is used inside when you're locked inside. Okay. Now there's your house battery storage under the step there. This, when you come in, is your main power switch. This is what controls the house. Okay, you got your awning light, which once the awning goes out, there it is. You got speaker outside, speaker inside, so it doesn't come off the radio itself. You have to use the speaker button to transmit it. Nothing will work without this main power, because this is your house power. You got interior lights. The slide is still in, and you need that on to put the slide out. So let's go ahead and turn that off. Exterior light is basically your porch light, which came on. Okay. Your awning, I'm gonna go ahead and put it out. Is right here. It's coming out. The one thing about the awning, of course, it won't work with the engine running, because it might see you going down the road and someone will push the button. You don't want that. So it has to be engine off, main power on. Okay, you wind it out until that little flap comes straight down. This right here is just a sunshade to block some of the sun from coming in on your eyeballs. Okay, basically it should spit the rain off by itself. If not, you can adjust the pitch a little bit. No, this one you cannot. Okay, it basically dumps the rain off the end, and it should be just fine. If it gets real windy and you don't like it, go ahead and bring the awning in, but you've got plenty of room under here to put your rug and your chairs and everything else. Okay, so you want to, and it's under the door, it's over the door, so there you go. That'll be good for you. And this little zip blocker, that's just a little extra touch somebody else put on. So okay, we're gonna head inside. Okay, here's the panel at the top of the stairs as soon as you come in, before you go out, of course, but here's when you come in, and you have the slide 1, which is you only have one slide. It's a long slide all the way from the front to the back. Okay, there's your bed, which has to be folded up before you bring it in. You also have a slide button here, same slide button that's from the front is right here. The big thing to worry about on slides is when you come in, make sure there's nothing blocking this way. Make sure the driver's seat is forward. There's nothing behind here to get caught on, either going out or in. That's a biggie. And then when you come back here, you want to make sure If you can't see around there, put the slide out a little bit, but see you have drawers and you have cabinets, and you want to make sure those are closed. You don't want to catch the slide on them. If you ever hear a bad sound, stop what you're doing and reevaluate. Like this fake phone call I'm getting. Hold on. Okay, we're back, and you have a light switch here, but really it's over the top of the slide. So what we're going to do is go ahead and put the slide out. To work the slide, engine off, and you got to make sure the emergency brake is set. At this time it's not, so I'm going to set the emergency brake. Emergency brake on to put the slide out. Some RVs you have to have the engine running, but I'm not. Let me check. Okay, this one is engine off, main power on, emergency brake on, and then hit extend here or in the back. Your mattress is going to come down. That's just normal. I'm going to take it out a little bit so I can see around the corner. Okay, so I'm going to look around the corner here. Make sure the drawers are in and this cabinet isn't in, because you can catch them and snap them. You don't want to do that. That's in or out, especially out. So see, it's open and you're not going to catch anything, but go out as far as you feel comfortable with. Look around the corner before you go ahead and finish it off. Okay, that's a biggie. Okay, I'm going to hit the out button from here and continue. When it gets where it's going, you'll hear it go. You'll hear the change. It's out. Okay, then the bed flops down, and of course your cover flops down, and you are sleeping. Okay, you have a remote here, a TV that swivels, and those only work with the thing plugged in somewhere. I mean, the only thing that's the big indicator when you walk in to make sure there's power coming in is the clock on the microwave. That's a dead indicator that you have power coming in. Everything else, this will work on propane. Your refrigerator will switch over to propane when it doesn't see power if the propane valve is on. That's the biggie. Okay, so, and everything else, not the air conditioner, will not work unless it's plugged in. Microwave, air conditioner, TVs are on the AC circuit. But it's also, when it's plugged in, it's charging the house batteries, which are under here. And the house batteries are very important. When they don't have enough juice, if the slide's not going to be going out. So that's a big deal. So, there is your converter and your breakers right down there. It's got your DC circuits in it and your AC circuits, which are just like your house, your circuit breakers and stuff. So if there's things that you don't think you'll use when you're at a park or you're traveling and you might run your generator, you know, if you're not going to use your microwave, just flip the breaker off. And if you're not going to use your air conditioner because you're up in northern Maine, flip off the breaker, because that way you have a reserve power instead of using all the power. That's just a little tip, that's all. Also, you have to have the main power on for the camera in the back to work, even when it's running. So we'll start that up in a little bit. I want to continue here. Okay, so basically we have put the slide out. Here's your levels. You got battery is topped off, fresh water's got a little bit, maybe. We're gonna try black tank is empty, gray tank is empty. That's what those red indicators are. I hope I have some fresh water to show you in the tank. Here's your water pump switch, your tank heater switch. This is for people that live up north or they're gonna be in some cold environments. You don't want anything to freeze. So I don't have any tank heaters on mine because I have a Florida one. So that's just me. When you're plugged into the park, electric hot water heater, give it 20 minutes to heat up. After you make sure there's water in the tank, which by running either the water pump or when you run your city water in, it'll fill up. But you can purge it by open the valve and let the air blow through or fill up. But once you got water in the tank, which you most of the time you do, once you put pressure to it, you hit the electric hot water switch, okay? And give it 20 minutes or so, and then you should have a hot water. It's about a 6 to 8, I think it's a 6-gallon hot water heater. So I've had 5 or 6 of these things, and with that size, my better half has a lot of hair. She's good for about 7 or 8 minute shower, and that's about it. So now when you're traveling across country and you got a full propane tank, you can cook, your refrigerator should be working, and you can have hot water when you're, I stay at Cracker Barrels a lot because I just want to save money and sleep and start it up and take off in the morning, that kind of stuff. But I asked my better half, do you want to take a shower before we leave? Hit the LP gas. It's electric you can't use unless, well, you have a generator, but you're not going to be running that most of the time with a lot of people around you. That's just a courtesy type thing. Gas, water pump, which it has to be configured outside with those valves to suck out of the tank, okay? So water pump, LP gas, and you can take a shower right there in a parking lot if you prefer. That's just when you're traveling and stuff. Also, but if you don't need hot water, those can be off. I don't leave them on unless I'm at the park, electric all the time at the park because I'm plugged in. Don't need to use the gas. That's only for traveling and dry camping and out by a lake somewhere. And that's what's nice about this. You have a generator and you have, but make sure that you don't go under a quarter of a tank. It's designed not to, the generator won't work under a quarter of a tank because it sucks out of the same tank that drives the motor. The big thing is that's so you can limp to a gas station and not use every drop of your gas. Generators cut off usually at a quarter of a tank. There's a different pickup in the tank. Okay, water pump is for your shower and your sinks and to flush the toilet. When you don't need your water pump, turn it off. There's a little red light, shows it on, and it's gonna make noise while it's priming up. Even when you're using it, it's gonna make noise, okay? And that's normal. Let me see if we have any water in the tank. Okay, we do. We got some, there's this cold, it's only got cold. I'm gonna let it goes to the gray tank, okay? This goes to the gray tank. But water pump on, wash dishes, take a shower if you've got hot water, okay? And that's for traveling and stuff and using the toilet when you're on the side of the road or somebody just can't wait till you get to the rest area, which is this thing here. Okay, to use the toilet, a little bit down puts water in it. Okay, you want to travel with an inch or two of water in there. Get those little packets that drop in there and dissolve and goes down into your black tank. One every time you drain it. So once you drain it, put a packet in there, half gallon to a gallon of water, and then you're good for the whole tank. So get a packet of that stuff. It can be the powder, it can be the liquid. The liquid though, If it falls over and breaks open, it's going to make a mess. So those little packets, they can be anywhere. I just use them and leave them by the toilet. I use and I usually hold 10 or 12 of those packets. So, but when you want to flush it, down a little is putting water in. All the way down flushes the toilet. Put a little water in for vapor, and you're done. Go down the road, put a little bit in, and that's it. It's really nice because my better half, we stop on the side of the road during the big, when you're on the interstate and it's all clogged up for an hour and nobody goes anywhere. Everybody around you is pretty mad because you have a bathroom. So remember that. Your shower, standard issue. Plus you do have you can take more hanging clothes when you're going down the road if you prefer, back there, or you can hang your towels back there. This is self-explanatory. It just goes in and clips in over here. Okay. Standard issue sink. So we do have a little water in the tank for demonstration and stuff, but you can always add to the tank before you go down the road. Bath light and your fan. What's really nice about this fan is it's big and it can go fast and it draws air. The only thing is you got to open the vent cover for it to really work. The only thing is that, let's see if you have you do. So you can leave it open when you go down the road. You can leave it open when you leave to go dinner or whatever, and you can have it drawing air. Okay, I'll put it on medium. So you can leave it on low or medium. I don't know what that's a real nice fan. It moves the air comparatively. Those little teeny ones, they're no good. Okay, let me turn it off. And then I'm gonna go to forward and see what happens. Looks like the air conditioner just came on and I got okay, it's drawing in. That's what's going on there. So just put it on medium reverse and let it run if you need the air drawn through. When you go down the road, you don't need to have it on, but you can leave this open and let the air draw through. You know, for smells or anything like that. Fan switch off. Okay, the air came on, so that must mean this is on back here. This is for heat and or air conditioning. Auto, just like your house. Low, cool, fan off. It's on just the thermostat right here, just like your house. But when you need heat, give everything a minute to recycle and stuff like that, because it's not going to come instant on. Okay, so now that we're in cool, if you're not going to use this thing, turn it off. But on the heat, it will provide a lot of heat, so be ready. Let me go ahead and same thing up here. You've got a fan, but this one's manual, so you have to open that up. If they don't have vent covers, you've got to watch out because you don't want to leave them open if it's going to rain. So if they got a vent cover, you can have them open and you can leave the fan switch on as low as possible when you're leaving and you want the smoke or whatever to go out of here. You got two of these and that's great. So use them, because I have a couple and I use mine all the time. Okay, we're back to I'm going on to the refrigerator. This is a Norcold. This is your power on switch right here. Mode will either show you AC power if there's power coming in. If you're on AC power, in other words, plugged into a power outlet somewhere, then it'll show you probably an icon. Let me see what we have here. Okay, see the icon where it has you're plugged in? If I went and pulled the plug, it'd switch over to propane automatically so you don't lose all your steaks and everything. This is your temperature controller. It's on 4. You can go to 5. I would start it out on 3, see if it's tolerable for you. Don't go to 5 if I mean, just work with it. It's just like your house when you don't want it too cold and definitely don't want it warm. So then it goes back to the green light. That means it's on, okay? And so this is your propane vents back here. Not vents, but stuff. And this is a vent that has to stay open. It goes outside in case there's any water drippage there. You got a big refrigerator compared to mine, I'll tell you that. Okay, when you're not using this and you're parking it and it's over with, when you're traveling, it switches to gas, and that's what you want. Unless you're going to run your generator, then that just makes noise. But when you're going down the road, you can have it on propane. You can even select it to be propane all the time, so you're not going back and forth between the generator and the propane. So let me go ahead and hold this, and it goes off, okay? That's a nice refrigerator, so that's cool. This is self-explanatory. Vent fan, which has one that goes to the outside, and then your light. These are your fancy lights for your nice stove. This is a good one. So you flip this up, and you flip it up one more time, and that's it. If you want to start it, I'm hoping I got the propane on. Basically, you turn it, and you hear I hear the gas. This is your sparker, they call that. That's the sparker. It's only one time clockwise. One time clockwise. That's all it is. I'll turn this one down. This one, sparker. Okay, let me do this other one. Let me turn that one down. Turn it down, there we go. Then this one here, it's in the rear, sparker. Let me turn that one down. Okay, but make sure when you're going down the road and you're all finished, make sure you kill these completely. Straight up, it's a detemp position, okay? When it's bright, that means it's off, but, okay, so detemp position, the sparker's only a one-time pow, pow, pow. You can see it. So, it's only when you need it. If you only need the front one, don't leave the glass closed, even if you're using just the front one, that doesn't work. So, always up. Also, when you go down the road, so you're all done here. I'll turn off that light. When you're all done here, make sure you close this before you go down the road. It's got 2 rubber things on each, one on each end. Make sure you seat that. Make sure you seat that so it stays. You don't want anything flopping around. The oven has its oven light down here, and it tells you this is on. And the oven light is on. The oven, I would read the book, because sometimes some have pilot lights, some have automatic. The sparker works for that too. I believe that sparker is going to work for your oven too. I've had 5 or 6 campers. I've used the oven once, so don't know what to say, because most of the time you're going to be grilling or using the stovetop. Okay, we're going to go over here to the TV. Let me go ahead and look back here real quick. It's got a swivel. Okay. I'll turn on the TV. And I believe it's got, this little latch here, you pull that and it releases the swivel. Sorry, I don't have a helper here. Okay, the swivel, it comes out and swivels around. And let me look behind it. there's an antenna switch somewhere, which is a little amplifier, and it's not in this one. Okay, let me find it. Let's see if it's up here. Yeah, there it is. Okay, that antenna switch, you see the green light? That means you have the antenna amplifier on. That means when you scan both TVs, either TV, you got to scan them in antenna. That way you get whatever's local, etc., etc. Of course, when you go down the road, you're going to lose them in 30 miles. But when you're parked, you might be able to get some antenna. If you put cable into the unit, you've got to turn off your antenna amplifier. Hit the button, turn that light off. Now you can scan in cable. But if that thing stays on, it will wash your cable out. Same thing if you have cable coming in and you turn on the antenna, it'll wash out the antenna by the cable hooked up. So you got to pick and choose what you're going to do, okay? Let's go with that. There we go. Same thing on both ends. This one back here should swivel also, and you got a remote there by the bed. So this one also looks like it swivels. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's go with that. And we're in antenna right now, so I'm going to hit input. It should be TV. And let me see if I already scanned this thing. Channel, down. Don't get very good stations out here because I'm on the other side of a metal building. So, oh, I got retro TV, which is not the highest quality. There's me TV. Okay, so we did get some channels because I'm out from the side of the building a little bit. When you're up in the mountains, don't expect a whole bunch of antenna channels unless there's a tower right there. And that's it. And then you switch your antenna, your input. Well, TV's going to look for cable, so menu. You go across, channels, settings. Go back to channels. You go down here, and you have add, skip. Nope. Where am I? You'll have to mess with it. There's instructions in here, or find the best person in your family that knows this stuff. Okay, I'm gonna kill it, and that'll be it for that one. Here's your 2 sets of keys. I'll put one in the drawer and use one on the inside. All of this will go in one drawer. Here's your owner's manual. I would sit down and read this stuff. Here's all your inside. Here is all your appliance information and everything else. So I'll put all that in the drawer over here. Here's a filter. Let me put that in there. Another set of keys. The remote for the TV. Put the other one down below. Whoever drops it off should show you a little bit. Wish it was me, because I'd like to go up there. When you go ahead and put this away, kind of put it flat and push it in until it seats, and it holds it. It catches back there. This is what releases it by pulling it down. Okay, so you make sure it seats and everything. Here's some lights for your dinette, and of course this can go down and make a bed if you prefer. You got to pull that pedestal out of there, and then this is what helps make the bed, but it's a lot of work. So There you have power down below. You have your USBs and some regular power things. So you got your standard 12 volts coming to there, or your power. Up here is your overhead bed. Always flip it forward if you're going to drive down the road, because you know it's just so much easier to get in here and drop down and get in there. Otherwise, one second. Otherwise, the bed is a little bit of work. You got to flip it over here and then to come by. But the ladder is right there, it hooks here for whomever is going to be up on the top. Okay, but if I'm driving the thing, I want all the room in the world. So I put the ladder there, flip that forward, and that shows you have, you know, you got a lot more headroom where you can get in and out of your seat easier by not going outside. Okay, let me see what else I can. The jacks we'll get to you a little bit later. I'm going to go ahead and step out. Another thing too on procedure when you're running this thing, if you ever get into a pinch and you leave your lights on and you kill this thing, there's a button over here. It's a white button. You press that, and what it does is it hooks the house batteries to your starting battery, start your truck, and then release that. That is just to help jump this thing off by not having to put jumper cables on. It uses your house batteries to jump the thing in case you left your lights on or something like that and you killed your battery. So that's your emergency start button down there on the left. Okay, hopefully that's in the book too. So, and you got your coffee holders up here. Let me see if I can get the camera going here. Let me find the keys. I'll be back. Okay, I'm gonna close the awning right now. I just make sure that door is straight out or closed, one or the other. Engine off, main power on. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the in button. And she'll roll up and come back at you. If it's after a rain, it's gonna drop some water on your head, so just be prepared for anybody that might be standing there. Make sure it closes and seats. It's done. Once you get there, don't just hold the switch. You get there, it's closed. Okay? You got an awning light. It's on. It comes on when it's all the way out. Okay, exterior light is your standard issue porch light. And let's see. Okay, I'm going to bring the slide in. The big thing on a slide in is your bed. Prepare that for anything else that might. Make sure these are closed. Make sure there's nothing stored over here and all that. You want to make sure your bed is folded back here. Sure your bed is folded back. I guess that's why they put this switch back here. It just helps. So I'm going to bring it in. Make sure the driver's seat is forward and it's not going to hit. Nothing's stored up there. Golf clubs, fishing poles, shotguns, anything else that might be. If you have pets, like cats, they sometimes climb up there. I don't know what to say. It's happened to people where they left their cat up there and tried to put the slide out. So just little things like that. Work together and you save a lot of money by not causing any damage. Hold this thing in until that sound, you're done. Then you can always look outside. Make sure before you bring in the slide, there's no bicycles and tree branches and stuff up against the side of the slide itself. Make sure everything's clear. And if you guys ask questions of each other through the window, it saves yourself a lot of grief. So do that, okay? And don't know if I helped you or hindered you, but YouTube is your friend also. Just remember that. Okay, thank you.